this video we are playing Find the Pebs. Thank you for choosing my video. If you do enjoy it, if you can help to support me by leaving me a comment, dropping this video a like, and of course subscribing to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for the recommendation on my channel. So here we are giving it a go. So we're going to start off round spawn. We have collected the one just by spawn. I do like the characters. I'm assuming that Pebs means pebbles, but I think they're really sweet. We have Sad Peb here on top of the box. We have the hammer underneath the boxes here, so we are going to pick this up and use it later on. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of the map. I don't like base play on the best of days. I think the map's quite simplistic. It could have a bit more of finesse and polish. But what I will say about this game is that this has got bags of potential. So there are some really easy Pebs and then some really more challenging ones. So take this one. You saw me look down this gap, but it's only when you go into first player and shift lock that you can then wiggle down into these gaps, and this is to go ahead and get mud. I love that there is different varying challenges to this game. So we are just going to wiggle our way through, and then we have Mud Peb. I love the little pebble there, that's really sweet. I love that it's a badge game, so you can take something away from the game apart from the fun. But just the map needs a bit of work for me. The items that you collect are at the bottom, so there's a bit of a bug that you can't see the item that you've collected, it's not named. So Icing Peb looks like it's on a chopping board rather than a cake. So again, it's just that little bit of finishing touch there, just to make it actually appear like a cake rather than a chopping block. I also wouldn't recommend putting eggs in an oven. I'm not sure if you put an egg in its shell inside an oven it would do the same as a microwave, but in a microwave they do explode. Not that I would recommend you trying that, obviously health and safety, you know. Inverted Peb is just hanging underneath of the tree there. Again, I don't sort of get the boxes, but you have got a really lovely hidden one here inside of the box. So what actually happened, I accidentally walked into the box while I wasn't recording, so I've just come back to show you where I found that one. It's one of those that took me absolutely ages to find, so I stopped recording to have a look, and then it was like boom, I got it. I was like, no, I haven't got the badge on record. So I think the logs could be a better idea rather than the sort of boxes. You could have had them as tree stumps. I would like the kind of map filled out a little bit more. As you can see, there's some bushes, but they just look like blocks rather than bushes. Just a little bit more finesse to the map would be ideal for me. We've got this nice little obby here. Again, I suck at obbies, so it did take me more than one try to get up here. But you get outline Peb at the top. So again, in shift lock, we are looking for the one in the tree. And I spy with my little eye, I've seen that invisible truss, there we go. I absolutely love that. And that is Pixelated Peb. So that's it for spawn, and we are moving around now to the construction site. This one is a little bit better, it does feel a lot more like a construction site. I did think one of them would have been open one of these crates, but they weren't. We have parcel Peb of all things round the back in construction sites. Now I think that would have been better sort of in a mailbox by the house at spawn. I don't think many construction sites have stuff delivered in a parcel. The boxes work here though, do you see, like, rather than in spawn? And then once you're on this layer, this is obviously something. So I don't know if that's a wall hop to get to the next tier up in this construction site. I can't tell you how long I spent trying to get up to this next tier, and I failed miserably. I've got a feeling it's a wall hop because that's one of the things I really struggle with on an iPad. So if you are a mobile user, you may struggle to get up here on your own. The only blessing is that you can stand on other players. So for this, I would get a friend to come and help you out, which is exactly what I did. So my son came online, bless him, to come and help his old mum out, which I will show you in a moment. So we will just finish off the rest of the bottom areas, which I could get to by myself. It would have been lovely potentially to have had a drop down where that spade was into something to make it look like they'd been digging. I don't get what that's supposed to represent. It's not a little volcano, is it? Is it supposed to be like a furnace or something? I don't know. But here is my son, bless him, coming to help his mummy. So as I said, you can stand on another player's head and then you can easily get up there. But obviously if somebody has helped you, just make sure you help them back so they can go ahead and get up here as well. So there is a button here, and this is obviously something we're going to have to do, a quest to get the buttons. And some of those hiding places are really cheeky, but I will show you that in a moment. So making our way up the crate there using the handle, and we can get onto the crane. Again, having that shift lock may help you out here. And we are up. Dropping into the crane cab area, and we have Japanese Peb. Again, I don't know why that one's there. You could do an awesome kind of cherry blossom Japanese theme area. You could start to get like kawaii going and sort of Japanese related stuff going in there. So up here is where you need the buttons. So we have the button that we found on top of the construction site there. And this is where I always advocate that zoomed out view, because this is where it is going to help you spot stuff. Hello, the tiniest button on earth on the crane. Again, I can't tell you how long these took me to find. I almost gave up. You know a green button is going to be somewhere green, and I was right. Underneath that crate there is the third button. Some of these are so cheeky. And then the next one is in the pipes here. So I just saw a little bit that looked like a pixel, and I've just gone to investigate a bit further. And what is that on the end of the pipe? Another really small button. Hello, one at spawn. I do think that's a little bit unfair, as you've got all the other ones in construction, so I would potentially move that button into construction just to make that a little bit more fair. But then what you get is the truss and the pathway over to this peb. So I love that little quest element. I love that you've got to find all of the buttons. And we have Terra Peb. Moving around now to the cave. So the cave is accessed through the construction area. So I did show you that earlier in the video, and this is where you're going to need your hammer. So the hammer we picked up from spawn will break the wood. And I think really this area is quite underutilised, to be fair. You've got all these lovely little platforms. We haven't got much in sort of the crystally or the kind of ores. We have a lovely one hidden underneath this mushroom here, and this is spider. I love that one. You could so easily walk past that. So some of the platforms are off in different areas, so we're just going to tackle these one by one. I was quite surprised there wasn't a peb that made you kill yourself on the edge of one of these blocks. It's why I am checking all of the sides. And some of those jumps, there's no sprint on this game. So again, a sprint would be really, really lovely. But some of these jumps you do think, oh my god, I'm not going to make this. So we can see the kind of semi-transparent platforms there to get us across to that other area. So Crystal Peb is there, but again they could have expanded that into different colours. So you could have had blue crystal, green crystal, iron, diamond, ruby, all the gemstones. Now this intrigued me because I was convinced that that was a little area to walk through, given that it was a different colour. I even tried to dance clip people, I was that convinced. So maybe something to be hidden down there. I did spot it. So let's go across and do the computer while we're here. It's a bit random to have a computer in the middle of a cave. Maybe if they did like a secret agent base or something, that may have tied it in a bit better. So you load the computer up and there are a couple of pebs here. So we've got one where we need a password, and it's the first letter of the colour of the small crystals translated into numbers, then multiply all of them. You have a lovely jump scare. And then we have File Peb. So once you click on File Peb, this actually appears back out by the computer. So this is where you need that password for the hacker. And I'm really sorry, I didn't get that one. I don't know how to, but there is File Peb. So as you can see, I've looked at all of the little crystals. I've found them even by the entrance. I don't know what I'm doing wrong here. I've got the numbers, I've translated them into letters. I don't know, there's the maths, and then I've times them all together. I've got this number. So I thought, oh, is that going to work? No, it didn't. So please do drop me a comment if you've managed to get this and tell me what I've done wrong. But I think I've followed those instructions pretty well. I mean, maths isn't my strongest subject. I have no idea what that E means in the middle. So yeah, do tell me what I've done wrong there. But I'm not going to be much use for hacker. I'm so sorry. So making our way over to the other platform now. Again, I love how they brought the obby into the actual sort of vines. I love that it's integrated. That's really nice. They're making it part of the map. Do you get mushrooms in caves? I don't know. Is that possible? But again, we always go behind the waterfall. Oh my god, we've got another code. So I haven't figured this one out. You know, I've tried. I don't know what I'm doing with these. I multiplied them all and it didn't work. Am I only supposed to do red, green, blue and P and V are red herrings? I have no idea. Or is it the colour of the blocks? But then you don't have a yellow one, so what am I supposed to do? Do you put it in as a number? Do you put it in as the words? I'm so sorry, I don't know. My IQ is not big enough for this stuff, I tell ya. See, I even tried the words. I was so trying desperately. I'm so dedicated to try and get you all of these pebs in the video. But yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. You will just have to stay there, Peb. Uncollected and unloved, sorry. It's a good job I'm not a superhero up against all of these puzzles, isn't it? Moving round now into the graveyard. I really like the script on the graves. So this is sort of bringing in that nice polish bit, you know, that bit of a touch to it. That's lovely. Although I don't think graveyards are technically all dirt. Like, I think you would have some grass and then maybe the little grave bit might be dirt. And then I spotted a button. And I knew I was going to be here for a lot longer than I was anticipating. I love the one on the cross because that was really well hidden, sort of unless you were really looking for it. And it's the horrible moment that it dawns on you that that button was grey, and it's grey for a reason. And there's like a million fence posts that you are now going to have to look for a button on. I mean, oh, yeah. To hide buttons in one location, this is definitely a good one. So the next button is just there on the side of the gravestone, and just look how well those buttons blend in. It's crazy. You could have hidden a lamp or a light peb on the back of that lantern. And then the search begins. So literally I walked down the top of all the fence panels. Then I walked and looked at the underneath of the fence panels and the back of the fence panels and the side of the fence panels, because I knew one would be on here. For your sanity and for mine, I did actually edit out quite a lot of me doing this down the other side of the fence. Oh, it's crazy how well these buttons are hidden. Elated and happiness does not even cover how I felt when I found that button. So I had left the game to just turning on that other button. If you do leave, your progress isn't saved, so you're going to have to go back. But we have made it inside of the locked church, and we can go ahead and get Ghoul Peb. And then we have this crazy looking radio, and when you click on it, it then starts to play this random kind of notes or kind of do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do, and I have a horrible feeling. Is it Morse code that you have to translate? But I wouldn't know how to translate audio to Morse code to letters to get the code. So these are the ones I didn't collect, unfortunately. I've had to give up. So malware is the one for the password. Lament Signal is the one in the radio that I have no idea how to translate at all. And there we have it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.